on the old business, if I could, I'd like to have Calvin, if you would give us an update. Did everyone get a copy of? Okay. Just give us an update where we're at. Calvin, for the benefit of those that do not know, works with the Mattern and Craig group that we have used for many years at Phipps Bend, and Calvin has gone above and beyond the call of duty to help us out in so many different ways, and we really appreciate his assistance. And we've been working to try to get lot 17, which would be approximately 100 acres of flat, level ground, ready with all the amenities to accept a large client. And in my opinion, we'll have the only really large site in northeast Tennessee that's available for industrial development. So we're doing everything that the experts, we've had folks that have been brought in from all over the southeast to look at that site, to advise us on what needs to be done to get everything shovel ready to put a large industrial site there. And we've been going about this meticulously, step by step. Just about 100% of the money that's gone into this has come from TVA and Ms. Tully's group, the Tennessee State ECD, and they have been very generous in helping us do this. So, Calvin, if you give us an update
Sure.
where we're at, I'd appreciate it.
I'm gonna step up here. I don't want to be rude or wrong. Appreciate y'all allowing me to give you an update today. We'll talk primarily about lot 17, as Larry said, and then I'll also give you an update on the water tank and water distribution improvements. But we, as I said last time, we've got the lot 17 project broken into several tasks. Some of those are completed, some of them are well underway, and then some we've not gotten to yet because they kind of have to go in order. But task one was the threatened and endangered species survey. And that is complete, and it revealed that there were no issues. And the bat survey is not going to be required, which will actually free up about $60,000 that we had budgeted in the grant to be used for other tasks later in the process. And then task 2A is the cultural and archaeological surveys, which were a big concern, obviously. And that is now complete, and there were also no issues with that. We are just pending TVA's approval of the investigation and report. So, and with that, the phase 2 task that we had budgeted for further surveys will not be required, which will save up to about $47,000. Again, that can be used for other tasks later in the scope of work. The water supply study, which we call task 2B, is a hydraulic model. We're looking at the first utility district and the Rogersville utility district. We're looking at that from a hydraulic standpoint, how we can get better and more flow into the park. And that is about 30% complete now. We're still trying to get some data from some fire hydrants that are in the area that we can flow those and get some additional flow data. So that's about 30%. Task 3A is the big drainage ditch that basically cuts all the way across lot 17, how we might be able to relocate that and fill that to make that property better available. It's about 10% complete, as is the sanitary sewer relocation. That sanitary sewer line actually cuts directly across lot 17, almost in the center of it. So we're about 10% along with the relocation plans for that. And then we've got some areas here that we haven't started yet. That's the what we call the ancillary area assessments. That's areas around the park that we might use for fill material that would go into the ditch, and we'll perform geotech analysis of those areas, and then ultimately a site grading plan that will get everything balanced and leveled out. We have not started on those three pending the results of our other work. And in task 6, we've identified that as additional services in the scope of work. It's actually for railway design that would bring a rail spur into Lot 17, and that's some additional work that we have been discussing with TBA and with the state, and we're just awaiting some signed agreements on that to proceed with that work. So I kind of flew through that kind of quickly, but those are the tasks as we have them identified. And if anybody has any questions on those, and I'm happy to make this report available, I can email it to you. Be happy to do that. And then the other project of great interest is the water improvements and the water tank improvements there in the park. We've been working on that off and on now for about a year, and there's a lot of approvals involved. So if you're looking at the water system, that's potable water that serves that entire area, and not only the businesses in there, but the residents around the park. So we've got all the plans, specifications, and bid documents are 100% complete, and those have all been approved by the Department of Environment and Conservation. So now we're waiting, this will be a big surprise, but we're waiting on final environmental review from the development district and from rural development. Now that's been in process with the holidays and with everyone taking, holiday time and vacation time. That's kind of slowed that down. But we did hear from them earlier this week, and we expect that documentation will be reviewed and possibly approved by early next week. Rural development will then finalize all the documents for bidding, and then we can bid this work out. So hopefully by spring we'll be able to award a contract and get the tank, get the improvements made to the tank, get it painted, and get all the water line connections and valving in place. So that will give us a more stable water system inside the park, and it will get the tank up to all the proper codes and requirements. And again, this work is actually being performed by the Rogersville Utility District. They're the owner and operator of the system there in the industrial park and the surrounding area. And they received grant funds to do this work. So that's what I've got. Like I said, if anyone has any questions, be happy to answer those, or we can talk afterwards, or I can be happy to email you the report. So.
Anyone have any questions for Calvin? Calvin, on behalf of the Industrial Board and the Phipps Bend Joint Venture Board, both, I appreciate the work that you have done. It's been remarkable that we're at the stage that we're at. I can't say enough thank yous on behalf of both those organizations, also for the Sanitary Utility District and working with us. These are all the documents that have been worked up and signed. Everything's notarized and in place. So all of those problems, I guess, that we have had through the years are all somewhat resolved now, and so it's taken a long time, and I think the efforts that Calvin's made on behalf of Matter and Craig have been instrumental in getting those things done. So thank you so much for all of that.
I think we have a sense of cooperation now with both the Rogersville Utility District and the first utility district down is admirable. And I think Lynn will agree that this project has gotten some serious attention throughout the area and in Nashville as well. So it's going to be a very high profile piece of property that's ready, and I think it's going to get some serious attention. Thank you again.
I appreciate that. We want to also, while we're passing out accolades to Ken Ray with the development district that helped coordinate all of this together and securing the loans and the grants and everything, not just for us, but for the Rogersville Utility District, and furthering the study of getting the water flow up to the proper level that we will need it eventually. So a lot of great news, and it's amazing how long this has been going on and taking place, but it's finally coming together, and so, thanks to all those that were involved with this.